Nigel Dodds.
It's a real pleasure to follow the honourable member for Gravesham, and I salute and commend what he has said in putting the country, his constituents, ahead of party, and I think members in this House and his constituents will praise him loudly for his actions today. The Foreign Secretary talked about this being a symbolic debate, and I suppose there's something symbolic, Madam Deputy Speaker, in the fact that despite his words he's heading as far away from the EU as he possibly can tonight. Although, to paraphrase him slightly, think about the rest of us, we have to stay here long after he's gone. The fact is, Madam Deputy Speaker, that the people who deserve credit first of all tonight are those people who signed the petition to get this debate. And I was pleased to be able to go to number 10 along with others in this House and outside it to deliver that petition. I commend the honourable member for Bury North and the Backbench Committee in allowing this debate to take place. I think it's very, very timely indeed. I think that, Madam Deputy Speaker, we meet in the context of reports swirling around of threats against members of Parliament about their ministerial career, all sorts of indications about the inability of people to find new seats if they vote the wrong way tonight. It was mentioned, I think again by the Foreign Secretary, that they weren't adopting a casual approach to the debate, and it's very evident that that is certainly true on the part of the whips, who are being far from casual in the sorts of lines that they're taking. I think it's deeply regrettable that on an issue like this that the whips have been so vociferous in all the parties. This is a backbench debate and people should be allowed to have their say and to vote freely. One of the issues I think that is most evident in political discourse in society today across the United Kingdom is the disconnect between Parliament and political leaders and the people. And there's no greater illustration of that tonight in this House than the spectacle of three party leaders and leaderships telling members of Parliament, many of whom in all of the parties want to have a referendum, want to let the people have their say, but saying you must vote against. And I think that while the vote may be won today, I will in a moment, while the vote may be won today by the party leaderships and by the whips, ultimately the people will have their say, because we have seen throughout the rest of the world the people cannot be denied their democratic will. I give way.
Would the honourable member therefore agree with me that, in the words of Gandhi, evolution of democracy is not possible if we are not prepared to hear the other side?
Well, absolutely, and I think that people listening in on this debate today across the country, in all parts of the United Kingdom, will be mystified at some of the arguments that are being put forward, which are completely contrary to their views, that they simply want to have a choice. Whether you're for Europe or against it, for the EU or against it, whatever it is, people are entitled to have their say. Now, we've witnessed a breach of trust in relation to the Labour Party, who denied the people of this country a vote on the Lisbon Treaty, which was in effect a European constitution. We have Lisbon Treaty. We have seen the same on the part of the Conservative Party, because the Prime Minister did give a cast-iron guarantee before the last election that there would be a vote. And on the Lib Dems, we have seen the situation where they said we must have an in-out referendum, and now we're being told that they're going to vote against this motion tonight. I'll give way one more time.
I'd like to thank my honourable friend for giving way. As the majority of the elected across the United Kingdom have never voted regarding our relationship with the rest of Europe, why does my honourable friend believe that this government seeks to deny them that right in a referendum, or are they afraid of the answer from the people?
Well, I'll come on to the points that the Foreign Secretary raised just in a minute in terms of the arguments that he advanced. I want to make the point that the Democratic Unionist Party is united, and I think we're the only party in this House that is united in favour of a referendum for the people of the United Kingdom. We have been consistent on that point in terms of the Lisbon Treaty, in terms of the Single European Act, in terms of Maastricht. We called for a vote throughout that, and we have been consistent also on the issue of the euro. And there are lots of people in this House, I have to say on both sides, who are now hiding. I can't give away any more, I'll lose some time. Thank you very much. You'll have a chance to speak later, I'm sure, if you catch the Speaker's eye. But there are people today who are hiding their views on the euro, not least in Northern Ireland, and who are shy of letting people know what they really believe in the euro. And I'm glad tonight that our party has been absolutely consistent in principle on this position, and that our position has been vindicated. Today, the reasons to call a referendum are clear. It's clear that the people of the United Kingdom want a referendum overwhelmingly. It's their settled will. It's 36 years since the people have had a chance to deliver a verdict. It's because clearly this is not a party political issue, it's a constitutional issue. There are people on all sides of the House tonight who take different views. Therefore, it's a matter for the people to have their say. This is a matter that transcends party. It's also clear talk about this being a distraction is quite frankly a nonsense, Madam Deputy Speaker. The EU and all of its works go to the heart of decision-making in all aspects of policy in this House and Government, and therefore it's absolutely vital that we had a chance to deliver our verdict on how we should see that relationship between the United Kingdom and the EU evolve. And most of all, Madam Deputy Speaker, the crisis in the Eurozone and the move to create a tighter fiscal union among the 17 in the Eurozone means that will have a direct and very significant and profound impact on the United Kingdom. That is going to happen. The Prime Minister has already indicated that we're likely to have a treaty change coming along. Therefore, the argument that the Foreign Secretary advanced that now was not the right time, it's very clear that we're going to have a referendum. When the Foreign Secretary was advancing a referendum, and he listed the number of occasions in which he had advanced that, and I'm glad that he did. I'm sorry that he isn't advancing one now. When he did, there was no talk then about that being a distraction, about uncertainty for business. The Conservative Party was saying very, very clearly that it was right to have a referendum. Why now, suddenly, is it not the right time? It's clear that there must be the opportunity grasped by the crisis in the Eurozone for the British people to be given their say, Madam Deputy Speaker, and it will be absolutely scandalous if people are denied that chance. We're told it wasn't in the manifesto. Of course, the AV referendum wasn't in the manifesto either, and we had a referendum inflicted on the people of the United Kingdom on AV. So that doesn't wash. I think, Madam Deputy Speaker, the danger the Foreign Secretary outlined about the opportunities that would be lost if we were distracted by having a referendum simply doesn't wash. Why should that be the case? Why should there not be the opportunity to continue to advance our case in Europe and at the same time be laying the ground for a referendum which he himself admits and the Prime Minister admits is likely to be on the cards fairly soon in any case? It's better that we take that into our own hands, make the preparations now and give the people of this country what they want, a referendum.